Dress made from 500 loaves stuns African Film Awards. It is often described as Africa's biggest night in film and fashion.
Get ready, brace up for spunky new exclusive right here on this channel with Pan-African content, editorials, TJ's Kitchen, music video dissection, interviews, live session, movie breakdown, music, and more right here on this channel.
All right, welcome to a wonderful and a blessed Thursday's edition on this channel, TJ Studios. I'm here to serve you as I do all the time. Call me Olua TJ, and I'm going to respond accordingly. Straight to action, all right, guys. You know, AMVCA is still garnering some reviews and some feedbacks from the entertainment space. I don't know if you remember Queen Mercy Atang, all right? She wore a dress or a costume with 500 loaves of bread surrounding it. And a lot of people were basically, giving her downward mark. All right. They were marking their costume down and saying that they don't know why and how someone will decide to use pieces of bread to fix a costume and it will stand out. Well, the lady gave the costume, a much more marketing touch. She really promoted it and it got reviews. Some were saying it was cool because then adding bread to sum up a costume and for it to look this way is awesome. Others also gave, some were saying it's 4 over 10 and a whole lot. Well, the ingenuity of the costume is now making waves and getting the needed attention as Guinness World Record is believed to be looking into it because they have some bread, records in their belt. So they are looking into it and it might be the costume or the outfit or dress with the most bread around it. Interesting word, right? And it is safe to say that, there is a buzz around the costume. The number of people who spoke about it gave the costume the needed attention. But for us to market, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And since it is similar to, being a much more difficult something to put out there, to put bread on a costume, it's very delicate to put out there. That is how it's garnering these reviews. Let's take our minds back to the costume and the comment of Guinness World Record under, the post of the lady as to them looking into it and will be coming out with a verdict if she qualifies to hold the record. I will be right.
Stage I get to in my life, reinvention must occur. I must evolve. The most important thing for me is standing out here in a crowded industry. The creative industry is crowded. A lot of fashion designers, a lot of makeup artists, actors, filmmakers. But how do you stand out? How do you last in this industry? Oh, I'm talented. I know my craft, the skills. I'm a very good makeup artist. I will do this. Oh, if I catch your face, I will beat it so beautiful. Oh, I can act. If I read my monologue, they will clap for me. Your talent is not enough. I will use myself as an example because that is why we are all here today. We see the success Funke Akinele has been breaking grounds, breaking records. But that my talent is not enough. There are lots of talents there. What will you do to stand out? Tell me. Discovering yourself.
Okay, guys, welcome back. All right, you've seen it for yourself. People are beginning to write articles about it, about the Guinness World Record comment. All right, but in the light of that, BBC also wrote an article about the costume. Let's look into it. All right, dress made from 500 loaves stuns African Film Awards. It is often described as Africa's biggest night in film and fashion. Celebrities, filmmakers, and creators arrived at the 12th edition of the African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards AMVCA in Nigeria with dramatic trains, sculptural gowns, shimmering fabrics, and heavily theatrical designs that once again transformed the event from an award show into a spectacle of style. Held at the Echo Hotel and Suites in Lagos, the annual ceremony celebrates achievements in African film, television, and digital storytelling, while also serving as one of the continent's biggest cultural showcase, where celebrities compete for being best dressed as much as they do for awards. This year's carpet led fully into an excessive display of fashion. Several celebrities walked in with entourages helping carry oversized outfits through crowds of photographers and screaming fans. All right, so a brief write up of the dress and the whole summary of AMVCA as captured in BBC's write up on their website. All right, BBC Africa. And it is safe to say that whatever I said here is adding up. You remember Saturday and Sunday when I reviewed and reviewed my video about AMVC, I said that from Monday, loads of reviews are going to come from far and wide, and expect a foreign review soon. Lo and behold, Monday we got loads of them, and it is adding up to what AMVCA does on a yearly basis or per annum. Safe to say that it has come to stay, and it's it is adding up to the feelings of people. Those who are enthused about fashion are getting it, and the same energy for the awards. But the bigger question is that the ladies' costume, will it or would it be able to win? All right, the best costume or the costume with the largest loaves of bread in the world? Well, it is interesting, but I have gone onto the page of Guinness World Record on Facebook, scroll through certain videos, and we have videos with someone being able to consume the larger amount of hamburger, and then someone being able to consume the largest amount of bread. All right. So we just pray Queen Mercy Atan's costume will win her, the costume for the best, or the costume with the largest amount of bread around it. And it will add up to the numbers. The release, if it's granted or the record is granted, the release will come and add up to the hype surrounding AMVCA. Like I said, this is what sponsors are looking out for. This is what people who push and pump money and brands who pump money into, an institution looks out for. They want to be heard out there. And AMVCA is that brand. If you associate with AMVCA, then you will see loads and loads of, attention for your brand. It is safe to say that we are here discussing the light of what Nigeria people, they do every day, all the time, every year. All right. If it's on the daily basis, if it's on the weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, they churn out exclusives, and you see, the video I played, you heard something. There are loads and loads of talents out there. Loads of them. Plenty talents they out there. But what will make your own stand out for people to relate, all right, and drool over yours is the X factor. How you are able to go out there and make your own stand out. That is the difference between Niger people and the rest. I don't know if you get it. From Saturday of an event held, we are giving reviews up to now. Today it's a Thursday. Reviews keep coming every day. All right. From the costume to the awards to a whole lot, it keeps coming every day. And it's safe to say that this is what we call branding and organization. All right. This is what we call branding and organization. The last time I was telling somebody something, I said that even the West costume at AMVCA is another event's best costume. And to sound non-comparative, I don't want to mention that event here. All right. We need not to compare though, but we also need to up our game. But have we forgotten one thing? I have come to a conclusion. This is what Ghanaians can do. This is what Ghana can do. So the best for Ghana is to stay fixated on growing yearly. I don't know if I'm making sense. This is what TGMA can do. For now, the criticisms are coming to weigh down on Ghana. That's where I have come to a conclusion. I'm saying that this is what my country can do. So what we can allow for it to happen in the natural situation is that they keep growing every year at their own pace. Then they can grow into what they can become. But forcing, and that I said it, comparing TGMA and AMVCA is a clear mismatch. Okay? And I think we should put a halt to it. That's my personal opinion. I am not saying that everybody should pay homage to it, but I'm saying that if it is so, then it's gonna help. All right? So you can see that this year, last year, I am guilty of such, guys. I am guilty of that. Last year, I did a review of TGMA and MVCA, But this year, I observed the status quo. I'm like, I think both events should stand on its own and then grow on its pace. Okay? It is safe to allow TGMA to grow because that is what Ghanaians can do. And it's best in the level of Ghana. So it will grow at the pace of Ghana. All right? Okay, so that's my opinion. So shout outs to Queen Mercy Atang, and we are looking forward to seeing what Guinness World Record will bring out. All right, my name has always been Olua TJ. I am signing out of here. See you on the next one. Newcomers, subscribe. I am non-biased here. I share my opinions without any form of affiliation. See you on the next one. But until then, you know how I sign out of here. Salute you and peace out.
Get ready, brace up for spanking new exclusive right here on this channel with Pan-African content, editorials, TJ's Kitchen, music video dissection, interviews, live session, movie breakdown, music, and more right here on this channel.